Morning, Mr. D here. Another week, another journey. It's Wednesday, April the 5th, 2023. It's Holy Week, day before Monday, Thursday. Anyway, it's a beautiful morning here in southwestern Pennsylvania. As you see, I took a picture this morning of the sunrise from the local shopping plaza I was walking through this morning on my morning exercise, and that's what I've been doing this week. And I think everything's been going really well in the wellness department the past week. It seems to be anyway. Things seem to be making a turn for the better. And actually, after you put time into things, we've been doing these updates more routinely for about a month now, 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks, give or take. And now, we're seeing more progress. We're seeing more effort being put in. And sometimes I don't always have the stamina or the effort to go and do. And sometimes I do. Sometimes it just comes and goes. But sometimes, things really work out for themselves. So let's get on to the weight figures for the week. I weighed in again this week at the weight loss meeting. So far this week, I went in 344 even, so I've lost another 3¼ pounds. In the course of 3 weeks, I've lost approximately, I think exactly 7½ pounds. So we're definitely ahead. We got all the excess poundage that we had off earlier this year, and we're finally turning the turn back down into the spot. I'm looking over here at my color chart, that my weight loss jar for the year, and I actually got the feeling about 1.5 pounds of new weight that I lost. And the goal this week, the challenge this week is Easter week. I know it's hard on everybody, but I hope to feel the bottom row, and that's about 1.5 pounds. So if I do that, I'll be ecstatic and be very happy. It's always challenge on Easter week. It's hopefully not going to be too much. Hopefully not there. Yes, you're going to have the favorites. You're going to have the good stuff, but I know I got to keep my eye on the prize, and that prize, if I can show you, is my Best Loser of the Week trophy that I got this week. This is something, that we win at our local weight loss chapter for losing the most weight in the week. And I think I don't really make it a big deal. I don't make it always about being the biggest loser, but sometimes when you are on Holy Week or whatever week this may be, and you need that little bit of inspiration to not go in the kitchen and eat, not fulfill yourself on mindless eating, all the things that I've been taught in the course of 17 years or most of my adult life, as far as food nutrition, not to do. We go ahead and we don't want to self-sabotage ourselves. So it's a big thing for me. I often will self-sabotage if I let my emotions get in the way, if I let the negativity or the irritability of the day get into my way. And it's definitely something this week. This is the third day in a row that I've actually exercised, and I had some activity, and that's a big step for me, because normally I'm usually 2 days and I'm like, don't want to do it. But today I was like, it's gonna be a beautiful day. It was in the 60s this morning, about high 60s, low 70s by the time I got home. And the weather was just right this morning. Beautiful sun, as you can see, as I was going through the parking lot through town. And definitely a beautiful morning to go for a walk. Yes, I did stop at the McDonald's. I do love McDonald's. McDonald's, it's a love-hate relationship, but if I don't really hone in on it too much. I used to eat a lot more. Used to eat a lot more fatty foods. I'm really, really, really cut back on what I eat there. I just now go to a bagel with an egg and cheese, and they really do slam the butter to town, but it's okay. I'm okay with that. So it's a really, I traditionally don't have bacon or meat for breakfast. I do have my little bit of eggs, so that does give me my protein, and then I do have my a soda, but that's everything. But at that point, by the time I loop around and get through town, it's usually near the end, like near the mile two. And I walked 2.5 miles this morning. Yesterday I got about a mile and a half. My mother and I went on the trail, so it was about a mile and a half, a little over that, mile 3/4, I think. And of course Monday I did my usual mile. I was in the day program, so definitely getting out there, getting exercise, and I think that helps. I think even Saturday had a really nice gym workout. And that was really nice. Sometimes you have to have somebody tell you that you have to go to the gym, especially for me, because I could sit here in this home all day and do nothing. Today the weather is going to be in the 80s. We're going to get some storms overnight, but so it's going to be a very oppressive. So I'm going to probably stay in, but I'm okay with that because my exercising is done my activity is done this morning, before it got too hot. But sometimes when it's nice out, or when there's opportunity to go to the gym, sometimes you have to have that encouragement. And that's what I had this week. I had a little bit of encouragement, and sometimes we need that, because if we didn't have that, I probably wouldn't have went. And I think sometimes you have to hear it, that you're paying for this membership and you're not going. And I'd like to go, and it's something, it's simple. It's been coming out for a long time now, but and I haven't really used it in 3 years, and I started using it last month. And I talked about that in earlier this month. But then I started, so I've been going, I had to go a couple times last week. But now that, the weather was a little more fit this morning, I did decide to walk. And I probably will go, the weather's not going to be so favorable in the next couple of days. And, maybe I'll fit it in, but I don't know. But at least I know that that's there if I need it. And, we're in the progression of getting better. Personally, on my weight scale at home, I'm 340. So definitely doing the work there. Counting the calories is always a big thing. That's another big thing that helps me keep in line with what I need to do. The calories in versus calories out ratio, always a big deal. Um, just really keeping in the line and following through on things, and really making good choices. I think that's the thing about it. Everybody says, well, how do you do it? Or how do you, and I tell people when I share on Facebook, or I share online, how did I get all that weight off? Well, number one, over the course of probably 20 years, I take medication. It causes a lot of appetite and weight gain. And also, I think, I've been a part of a weight loss support group for about 17 years. And I think part of that is, really the fact is it's a mindset game, and you have to make it in your mind. And for all my adult life, from the time I've taken these medicines at 14 years old, I just don't think it was ever in the mind to say, hey, you can go work out. And I could go work out. There was times I'd go work out, and I'd do the whole set of machines. I wouldn't do nothing like the aspect that I do today. And I do very much more than the aspect that I do today. But I think sometimes you have to make sure that it's a mind thing. You have to want it. You have to want it. I don't think you can just, say, oh, I'm just going to eat because this or that or the other thing. It's a mind game. You have to know that you can't do this, that, or the other thing during these times, and that that the process that you're going through, the lifestyle change, and that's what it is essentially. It is a lifestyle change that you have to want it. I could have very well, I was speaking of an alternative of what the I mentioned earlier in this video about McDonald's. I could have went in there, ordered two, sausage, egg, and cheese. I could have got sausage, which would have made me feel iffy, and got Coke instead of Diet Coke Zero. It's really nice that our McDonald's now got Coke Zero. I do like that. It's a little get me up in the morning thing, but really, in essence, it's about choices. It's about choices, and that you want to do it. And I think as the weight keeps coming off, and not being pressured when you have a setback. I think sometimes, we get triggered when we have a setback. You know, I think, you know, one day this week, a couple days this week, I was like um, for example, you know, maybe Monday, I think it was like 340 on the scale. Yesterday it was like 339 something, and then 339.8, and then today I was like 340.2. Well, of course I'm going to be 340.2 because I had, you know, a lot of carbs the night before. So it's all in balance, you know, and it's just little numbers, but you know, I just know I have to do better and keep going and keep the game going, and that's all it is to it. It's not, it's in the mind, and people don't see that, you know, it is in the mind. It makes you feel better when you're doing things like walking or you making wise choices or doing the right thing. I think it's all in the mind. Speaking of the mind, everything's going well with the medicine. It's sleeping very well. Lots of sleep. I love getting lots of sleep, and that helps too. You know, that makes you, you know, if you go to bed early, like I do, you know, at 9 o'clock, then you want to, you know, 9:30, you want to get up and go because, you know, you're just so tired, you got your rest, and you know you need to go and get that exercise done. It's not going to do it for you. You know, they always say, you know, it's more than eating less and moving more. Of course it is. You know, it's again, it's that mindset, and everything that we do with our mind, whether it be, you know, on my other channel for you know, autism, mental health, you know, it's definitely everything. It's the same thing with with the health style and the lifestyle and the wellness, is that, you know, it's all about, you know, making it in your mind. And I think that's the thing you got to remember. So with that being said, I want to thank you for listening. Have a good Holy Week and a nice blessed Easter. Today is Passover also. So if anybody is watching from our Jewish community, I also wanted to say happy Passover. But I hope to see you later next week. And I hope everybody has a nice, safe Easter and Passover. Thank you, and bye for now.